Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. If you like making money, subscribe to the channel. I talk a lot about undervalued financial opportunities, and if that excites you, definitely subscribe. Ride this commodity bull market up with me and everyone else in our community. We are going to kill this, all right? Today, I'm going to go over the oil and gas presentation here. I know I've got some people asking about oil and gas. I'm going to show you why we're struggling to move up. And when we break this resistance, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So let's jump in here for oil and gas. I'm a big bull on it, and I'll show you what I'm seeing. So let's look at the commodities themselves and a lot of the companies we talk about on the channel in this presentation. You got to follow the commodity itself because these companies are following what the commodity is doing. It's quite obvious. So let's look at this. First, I'm going to look at the gold to oil ratio. I want everyone to understand that this is your value. The value here, guys, this is, I'll shrink me up a little bit. This is the value here, all right? The gold to oil ratio right here is your value. Your value here, looking at this stuff, your value is at 29.14. What does that mean, right? It means it's dirt cheap. Oil is dirt cheap in relationship to gold. And when you have it this cheap, you don't do anything. You get your strategy, you get your companies you like, you cost average in, and then you hold on. That is what I do. That is what a successful investor would do if they're trying to buy a cheap asset. Commodities are cheap, gold is cheap, and oil is even cheaper. If you look at history, to show you kind of what a 30 ratio looks like, 30 is gold is expensive relative to oil, but if gold is cheap to stocks and gold is cheap to the money supply, that means that when gold goes up, oil is going to get revalued even faster against gold. So that's your opportunity. That's what commodity bull markets will make millionaires billionaires and thousandaires millionaires because of these ratios and the compression and contraction of those ratios. We are at 30, which is extremely cheap for oil. We were off the charts up here. That's why I was such a bull on oil when we bottomed in March. And the companies themselves bottomed in the, August, September, October timeframe is when I got real bullish and started buying. But here is the ratio. We are off the charts cheap, and we should not be selling these things. We should be accumulating. Now, I understand we've got this is the price of crude oil itself. West Texas Intermediate crude. We've got a downtrend here, and we're hitting our head on that downtrend right now. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to hit our head on this. We're going to kind of bounce back a little bit, and then we're going to shoot higher very soon. Whether it be a couple months, don't exactly know, but usually demand kicks up during the summer months. So I think it's going to be very short-lived under this downtrend channel, and I think we're going to break out to the upside very soon since summer's coming. Here's nat gas. We're still in the downtrend here. I think we're going to remain in this downtrend longer. Summer's not a strong month for natural gas demand, so give it some time. Here's XLE. This is an ETF. Again, XLE coming down. We've got a downtrend here, and we've got another downtrend line here. We hit our head on this downtrend line, and we're kind of coming back and pausing a little bit. We've got a lot of sellers on this downtrend line, so be patient. It'll come. Contango oil and gas. I know some people had some questions here. Downtrend 1, downtrend 2. We broke through these downtrends with great big volume down here. Now we're back testing. This is normal. And what do I always do? If you guys are a part of this channel, you always hear me say something when looking at these charts. I always say I buy the back test. This is a back test, so I buy the back test. Here's Contango zoomed in. You can see this thing. There's no real big, large sell-off here. Yes, it's coming back down, but it's really controlled and going mainly sideways. So the buyers are in control here. It's just a matter of patience. And if you want to buy down here, that's up to you guys. It's up to you on the back test. SM Energy, again, look at the downtrend. This is a big weekly candlestick. Downtrend line here. Came up, hit our head on it. Now it's kind of resting before we move on up and break through this downtrend line. Now, if we break through this downtrend line, this is going to be a party. It's going to move up quite substantially. So I am a holder. I bought way down here at $1.50. I've been holding it the entire time. I am not selling. Remember, the ratio is at 30 to 1, 30 barrels to 1 ounce gold. When it compresses at the end of this, it's going to be below 10. So we're going to see a 3 times compression against gold for oil, and I think gold is going to go higher in price. So this thing's sitting there, it hit its head on its downtrend line, and it's just going sideways. I'm going to zoom in on it. It's compressing on up. It's compressing on up. It is looking fantastic at some point to break to the upside, if oil can break to the upside. Because oil hit its head on its downtrend line, just like SM Energy. Same thing with Centennial Resource Development. It hit its head on this guy here. It's putting in a cup and handle pattern, I think. And eventually we're going to work our way up and break to the upside and move, I don't know, all the way up to the 20s probably. 20, 24. And it's going to take some time. It's not going to do it overnight. It's going to take some years. But it's looking fantastic. Callon Petroleum, same thing. It looks like it's hitting its head on kind of its resistance in this area here. Finding some resistance. Give it some time. That's all it's going to take. Grand Tierra Energy, same move there. Looks like we're putting in like this big cup and handle pattern. Give it some time. There's nothing wrong with the company. A lot of people are accumulating. Got some good volume down here. So I'm just holding on. Tellurian, same thing with Tellurian. Give it some time. We came down. I thought we'd come a little bit higher up to $6 or somewhere in here, but it looks like we got some resistance in here. So we're hitting that resistance. We had some sell-off, and we're going to have to work our way back up. Southwestern Energy, nice big downtrend break here. So we broke the downtrend, coming on up, and we're hitting some resistance. We had a bottom here, another bottom, another bottom. We've got a lot of resistance in this area here. So you might see it sell off a little bit and then come back up and try to break through it again. There's just a lot of sellers there. Be patient. Antero Resources hitting its head on its downtrend line. So we're just at resistance. That's where we're at. We're hitting our head on all these downtrend lines. It'll break through. Give it some time. Look at the volume accumulating over here. The volume is accumulating. There's people shifting money around in this market and positioning for these moves. Trillion Energy, again, if you look at this, we've got this pattern that broke kind of in here, shot higher, and it's just doing a little bit of a pullback. Not a big deal. And here's Reconnaissance Energy Africa. This is more of a speculative play. Lots of volume buying this thing. We had one pattern break right here, flew on higher, and then we were creating another pattern here. And I think we might come back down toward the bottom of this pattern one last time, I'm hoping, so I can buy a little bit more. Then we'll have this pattern break, and it'll move on higher maybe, if they find something, which I think they probably will. So that's what I'm seeing in these patterns, in these charts. I think they're strong charts looking from a very long-term perspective. Almost all of them are exhibiting that downtrend hit. It's just give it some time, let the summer come, let the inflation roll in, let people increase the demand for oil products, and these will go higher. And even if it doesn't go much higher this year, I think 2022, we're going to have a stellar year. But I do think it's going to go higher this year. I think 2021 will be a year it's strong this summer, and I think it will continue strength into 2022 and on. That's what I think. And remember, the dollar starts diving down. It's going to be very strong tailwind for oil. Oil is one of the biggest inflation hedges that you can be in. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys listening. This is Finding Value.